everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of the Video Game Choo podcast. I'm your host, John. With me this week are two of your favorite people in the world. Two of my favorite people in the world, honestly. We have Michael.
Hello, Joe.
It's John.
Hello, Joe.
Michael, I thought you knew my name.
It's Crimp, right?
No.
Oh.
I thought you knew my name.
Is that your middle name? Crimp?
No.
Why do I have your name written down here? It's host of show, Crimp.
Because Mike Casamano is a fucking idiot, and he needs to shut up.
That's just the standard.
Yeah, it is. And we have Rose. Hello, Rose.
Hello, John. You're one of my favorite people, too.
That's nice to hear. Also, it's nice to hear that you know my name, the correct name. Right, Michael?
What's that, Crimp? I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Wow.
I swear.
Yeah.
I swear. Our next meeting, most likely at CEO Taku or whatever, will be the final showdown.
Battle to the death between Michael and Crimp.
Folks, once again, another week has gone by, so another podcast must transpire. To start it off this week, I think that our conversation topic for the beginning of the show is going to be books.
Oh.
What?
Books.
Are you LeVar Burton?
Oh, man, I wish. That would be...
I do too.
Yeah.
That would be great. I'm glad we can all agree.
Let's take a look. It's Crimp Perkins.
Hush. So I've actually been reading a few books that are actually about video games. So I would like to start off by talking about them real quick. The first book that I read, I got from for my birthday, and it's a very nice bit of reading. It's called Critical Path: How to Write About Video Games for a Living. It's by Dan Amrich, who is a games writer as well. And I think it's a really good bit of reading to do if you plan on taking games writing as a legitimate thing. I don't agree with everything that he wrote, especially because it was written a while back, so things have changed.
Put your reviews on the cover of the magazine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting to see how much things have changed and how little they have at the same time. Like, there's like a small section in the book about like the kind of games writing that like you insert yourself into, that's more about like the experiences. And I just think like, boy, that's so different. Like these days there are so many people writing about like very personal topics, and like, you got like, like the stuff that Waypoint posts and all that. Like that site is almost all that. So it's really interesting to just compare that, like, oh, this used to be this paragraph in this book, and now it's its own section of the industry. Like, I think that's really neat to look at. But there's still also just, like, a bunch of really interesting tidbits about talking about, like, style and how you should handle yourself at events, even, and stuff like that.
Get really drunk.
Yeah.
Done.
But I still think it's an interesting read if you want to take something like this seriously.
Why start now?
One thing that I did read that as soon as I read it, I was like, oh boy, was there's a whole like little chapter where it basically says, hey, it's probably not the smartest idea to just start up your own website and expect to like get a great audience and all that, because I was like, well, you're right. And when we started this site, maybe we thought that we were going to get to some kind of big deal in the future, but then, our worldview dimmed and we realized that was very stupid. And now we are the bullpen. We are the training room for the future, as they say. So, I mean, it's all different. It's all interesting tidbits there. But the other book that I read that I want to mention, the author like explicitly sent it to me so I could talk about it. So I feel like it would be a disservice if I didn't go a little bit into it. It's on the newest story bundle, if you're aware of that, like where they put a bunch of like video game related books into like a humble bundle style thing and then sell it for cheap. So the book that I am talking about was written by Joel Couture, who does stuff for Silicon Era, and he wrote a book called Falling Down, and it's about Undertale.
Boo. Yay!
Now, I'll be honest, I didn't finish it, but I did read a good part of it, and the main reason why I didn't finish it was because I have gotten pretty in-depth with Undertale in the past. Like, I have played it, I've gotten really deep into, like, you know, what that game means and all that. But if you're looking for something that's, like, a kind of academic look at that game, like, it reads very academic. It reads like a lot of other, like, a lot of other academic games writing that I've read in the past. If you're interested in something like that, I would say give it a shot. It's not exactly something that's just kind of like a fun, cheeky little like romp through Undertale, but it takes a look at what those games' themes are and lays them out in like plain old English, so you don't have to think too hard about it, I guess. I will admit though, I was laughing pretty hard at one bit where he talks about how after you play the game, Sans is a part of you forever, and I was like, oh, you have no idea, buddy. You have no idea that skeleton is something in my life for the rest of my life.
Sans Undertale.
Yeah.
Mm.
The bad time, man.
time.
Mm-hmm. Made me never forget.
Steven after not.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of Undertale that I like.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read I didn't see anything about Steven after not surviving in that book, but you know, maybe there's some in
It's
there.
really,
once you get,
you know, you gotta get deep enough to where you can see the little notes everywhere.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been reading recently. You know, just make your own choices from there if you want to pick any of that stuff up. Like I said, the story bundle, it seems like the Undertale book is a story bundle exclusive, so I don't know how long that's gonna last. So if that's something that does tickle your fancy, I would say maybe hop on that. Have either of you been reading anything recently?
No. I need to. I got a bunch of books recently, and I need to get back on the reading train or the reading rainbow train.
Oh.
But not yet.
I listened to the Disaster Artist book. I know that's listening to a book, but it's still kind of reading.
That counts.
Yeah,
that counts.
That book's it's really good. It's a really good book. It's if you don't know, it's about the movie The Room. It's written by the lead actor other than Tommy Wiseau, and it's really something.
Is it about the making of the movie?
It's about not only his relationship with Tommy Wiseau, but also the making of the movie, and like both are equally fascinating. And he does, for the audiobook, it's narrated by him, by Greg Sestero. And he does an impression of Tommy Wiseau that just sounds like it's Tommy Wiseau. It's like, you know that this dude, like, lived with this dude for a while. Like, if you're looking for a book and like The Room, I recommend it, because it's really good supplementary material, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, I've definitely been interested in reading that book, just because it just seems so
it's really funny.
Wild.
Like, it's really just funny, and, like, it's tragic in a way to hear about, like, Tommy Wiseau's life and, like, figuring out why he made this movie and stuff like that and hearing what happened to people on the set. But it's really, really fascinating, and I really recommend it. Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. All right, so now that we're done talking about books,
The book club is adjourned.
Yeah, never again.
Never read again. Burn them all.
Yeah, word through. Don't even read our website. Fuck reading.
Wait, no. Hey, come on back. That's not a book, though.
Actually,
yeah.
One day we'll release like the Chooch book, where it's just like a collection of like our thoughts.
It's a photos of everyone who ever worked at Chooch looking into the camera and shrugging.
Oops. Yeah, it says oops under each of them. Like, my bad. Sorry. Shouldn't have done that one. You know. So, why don't we talk about what else has been going on lately? Rose, let's start out with you.
Yeah.
What is going on, my friend?
Not that much. It's been pretty low-key couple of weeks. I made a ham steak today. That was good. I hadn't had a ham steak in a while, like a hot 3 years, let's say.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah, but it was on sale, and I was like, sure. And it was worth it because it was delicious.
Okay.
Trying to think of anything else I've done. I had buffalo wings from Fridays. I haven't had anything from Fridays in 5 years.
I also went to a Fridays
TGI
recently.
Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How was your experience before I say mine?
The Fridays I went to was nice.
Oh.
It felt like a modern restaurant. I don't know if it had been remodeled or what, but it didn't feel like when I think of a TGI Fridays, I think of wacky things on the wall and I don't know. I don't think of a restaurant that feels nice. I think of a slightly nicer Applebee's.
Yeah, like a family obligation place.
Yeah, and I went there and it's like, hey, this is actually pretty okay, and they have a okay variety of food. Well, not they have a very good variety of American food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah. So I just got it picked up for me. But I had some buffalo wings, and they were, hey, I'm glad that buffalo wings have gotten better over time, it seems, because I remember when I would get buffalo wings at Applebee's or something, it's just yeah, this is yep. And then this was actually oh, that has taste, if you can taste stuff going on here. It's chicken. Yeah, it's chicken. It tastes like meat.
I used to, because the Applebee's is close to campus, we used to go there to get half off appetizers after a certain time. And so we'd go there and I'd always get the buffalo boneless wings because for a while I could eat almost all of them and be pretty full and then still have some for later. So it was $5, 2 meals. And we probably went there too many times.
Yeah.
We stopped going there. Very quickly.
Jeez.
That's all I have for food, I guess. I haven't done anything else crazy like that.
All right. I mean, what have you been playing then?
So I was gonna work into that. I didn't want to go right away, We gotta mix it up every now and then.
Sure.
I haven't been playing too much. I've been playing Final Fantasy XII a little. The remaster came out, the Zodiac Age. And that game's weird, like people said. Basically, it feels like a single-player MMO, but like an old MMO, not like a FF14 style MMO, like an old MMO, like pre-WoW. And do a lot of weird shit, like basically code your team, like what your team's gonna do. Like there's a whole menu system that you have where you can set up the AI for each of your individual party members. And there's 1,000 commands you can use. Like if your ally is below 70% health or 30 or 50 or 40, whatever, then they'll use cure, but they'll only do that if they're not attacking an enemy that is silenced and is below 100% health or something like that. It's like, it's really an interesting game, and I haven't gotten too far into it, so I can't say too much about it, but it looks very pretty. It does look like a PS2 game, so I'll say that, even though it's a remaster. But it still has a very distinctive art style where things look painted on instead of just like Final Fantasy X, for example. Mm-hmm. And I really like that. Other than that, just dabbling in, like, I played the Destiny beta. Destiny 2 beta. There's something I did.
How much like Destiny 1 is it?
So I think it's like the tail end of Destiny design philosophy, if you get what I mean, like after the expansions and stuff, when they started to shift their focus.
Yeah.
I put it best, I think, personally, to toot my own horn, when I said that it's like Halo 2. Like, when you go back and look at Halo 2, all of a sudden, Sergeant Johnson, for example, is a big character all of a sudden. And they're acting like he's always been a big character. And, like, Master Chief has this distinctive personality, and they act like he's always had this personality. You know?
Sure.
Yeah, just because the fans, attributed that to them.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what Halo 2 is like. That's exactly what Destiny 2 is like, because no one in Destiny 1 has anything going on at all, ever. And that was mostly because of, like, you remember hearing about, like, they have those cards and stuff that still has all the lore on it that's out of the game, and none of the story's really in the game. Well, like, this feels like they wanted to do what they did with Halo 1, where Halo 1 didn't have any story, and then Halo 2 had a story, and all of a sudden these characters that you've known, and since it's Destiny and it's like an MMO, basically, you've spent a lot of time with these characters before. So it's really weird to see, like, for example, that robot that has the revolver that was in that reveal trailer or whatever. It's weird to see him, like, doing all the stuff in the game, set it up like, oh, there he goes again. And it's like, what do you mean again? If you get what I mean. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, people have said it's kind of clunky. That beta was, at least. Bungie was quick to say that it's an early build, but as someone who plays Final Fantasy...
or, like, the connectivity?
The connectivity was absolutely fine. I played tons of multiplayer games, like the Crucible, that's what it's called, the online multiplayer. I played plenty of that, and I had no problems, really. But, like, as a lot of people have said, like, it doesn't feel really good to play because in anything but a PvP setting. So when you're playing, like, the PvE stuff, like the Strike that's in there, or just the normal campaign missions, things feel kind of clunky because they've started to design it around the PvP more, because PvP was kind of an afterthought in the original Destiny. So it's like, we want to go all in on this because obviously Bungie cut their teeth on Halo, and that was, like, big for competitive multiplayer. But when you're designing a game that has, like, loot weapons and skill cooldowns, PvP and PvE are very different environments for that.
Yeah. It almost sounds like they should have maybe hit up the Borderlands devs a little bit instead of leaning more into the Halo side of things.
They should have just separated it, in my opinion. Like, at the very least, created, like, Final Fantasy 14 is a good example. Recently, they changed their PvP system so that when you go into PvP, you have separate abilities. You have, like, separate gear and all this other stuff going on. So, like, it's an entirely different balancing field. But the problem is, like, you're playing PvE in Destiny, just fighting, like, normal campaign missions, and your grenade, like, recharges once every 2 minutes. Yeah. And that feels, like, really rotten. And, like, your melee is once every minute. And your ultimate takes, like, a hot, like, 5 minutes to charge up. So, like, gunplay is fun in that game, because it's a Bungie game, and they're good at making gunplay, but when it's only gunplay and you don't get to toss out a grenade every, like, 40 seconds or something, or, like, do a big punch and stuff like that, it feels sort of like, why even have, like, these classes if it takes so long? And they've said that they're going to try and fix that before launch, but in my experience with online games, they don't fix it at launch.
Yeah, they're too busy putting out the fires on the server.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, like, it looked nice, and like the gunplay I said was really fun, and the PvP sections that I actually played, they added like, I don't know if these were in the original Destiny because I didn't play too much of the multiplayer in that, but they added like a Counter-Strike mode. I don't know if it is added or not, but like where you basically defuse a bomb or whatever, and you have 1 life. And that was really actually fun because you had a limited number of revives. So like, oh, you died, but your team has 3 lives, so you can come back. Or like you're doing really good, like defending, but then the enemy team got the power weapon and stuff like that. Like it felt more like Halo to me, I guess, which is what I really like to see in a shooter, because I really like the idea of using the map instead of just the Call of Duty style of thing where it's just you have the gun, I guess, like knowing you can get a power weapon that's over here and stuff like that, and that can change stuff. It was fun, and I want to play the multiplayer, I guess, but so far the campaign, like I said, it didn't feel very good, so I'm not too into that.
Well, they have time.
They have
about
2 months, I think, right? I think it's September. They have a month.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't just polishing
Yeah.
everything and just being like, "Oh God, please, someone just like this game."
Yeah.
enough."
I mean, of course, people will. Like, Destiny 1 was popular
definitely,
enough.
yeah.
The Destiny 2 is going to be fine. Their financials came out the other day, and it's got strong pre-orders. So,
yeah. And they're making a PC version this time, and it's on Battle.net, so...
Yeah, they're not worried. There's no worries there. It's just... I imagine what they're probably most worried about is... what are the legs for this thing?
Yeah, exactly. The long term, like
how do we make money after a year?
Yeah, and after Destiny 1 started adding in like a ton of microtransaction stuff, and they started saying like, "Oh, this is gonna pay for DLC packs," and then canceled all the DLC packs. It's concerning, but I'm willing to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, if they could have a message up front that says this is what the DLC will be,
Yeah,
it won't change. This is our plan for next 2 years.
exactly.
That helps. Like, at least with Overwatch, they're consistent. Like, if that, I think that's actually an apt comparison of Overwatch consistently has events, consistently updates new maps, new ways to play, new characters. They don't need a timetable because they've established it. Destiny 1 never established it.
Exactly,
So,
like they had the 2 tiny packs, the House of Wolves and whatever the other one was called that I forget, and then they had the expansion. So then the logic would be, oh, they're going to do these 2 tiny packs and then another expansion, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They just did the other expansion. So it will be interesting to see if they figured out a stride to have for this game now.
I would think so.
I'd hope so, but like they haven't even... I mean, I'm not going to complain they haven't talked about DLC before the game's out, but like with a game that is kind of a game as a service, basically, it is odd to see like no long-term plans. Like even, for example, Final Fantasy XIV, they say like, oh, the patch is coming in 3 months or whatever, and that will have all this stuff in it and stuff like that. But I don't know. Destiny's weird.
Zelda did it. They announced, like, here's the season
true.
pass. This is kind of what you're going to get. We'll have details later. There's ways to do it without making it seem like you're selling us DLC. We haven't bought the game yet. So maybe they've done that and I just haven't seen it. But
I haven't seen any of it, and I've been looking, so...
I assume they'll do that at some point.
Yeah, I bet. So, Destiny 2. There you go. Other than that, I haven't done much. I played Fire Emblem Heroes, That's a game.
How's that treating you?
I've gotten a lot of 5 stars now, so I'm not too sad anymore. Like, after that big drought, I kind of get one, like, once a week. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. And they've been ones I want. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I got Summer Robin.
She's cute.
Yeah. I also got Summer Gaius. He's good, too. Now I want the new summer ones, because they gotta do 2 summer ones. They gotta do 2 summer events.
I mean, they did, like, Awakening characters, and then they did Fates characters, right?
Yep. So, I gotta get that summer corn.
Summer corn.
Summer
Delicious.
corn. That's something I want to have. Corn cob. Cobbed corn. It's good.
Tasty. So, have you, is that about it?
That's all. Fire Emblem. I played the Fire Emblem Echoes, whatever. It's the same as I said last time. So, go for whatever else. Hey.
Fair enough. Michael. How's it going?
It's going alright. I'm tired.
Sounds like it. It's
Yeah.
been a long week.
It's been a long few weeks for me.
So, what have you been up to lately then?
I had a birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was fun. I got to go out and have the alcohol and ate at a TGI Fridays and
Ooh.
had a cake and got presents and stuff like that. So, had a lot of fun. I got to see my friend play guitar, which is pretty surreal. And then went to
Sounds good.
Yeah, went to one of my favorite bars and had fun and hung out with good friends. So it was the kind of night I like to have. I don't like to go crazy wild, but I do like to go crazy wild. So
Yeah. Just with the couple of pals.
It's good.
I did have an incident before my birthday though.
Uh-oh.
And I haven't
Incident.
I haven't told anyone on the site about it yet because I wanted a genuine reaction as I told this story.
Okay. I'm ready.
So I have headphones from my computer, right? It's a thing, plugs in computer, hear things through the headphones, not through the speakers. Simple.
Right.
I keep my headphones next to my computer. It's the only thing over there that I touch is my headphones. There's other stuff over there. I don't ever touch it. It's my tablet. I don't use other stuff, right?
Sure.
My headphones go on top. They sit there. That's it. So I guess it was about a week and a half ago, sitting at my computer, headphones on, doing the thing. I am thirsty. So I take the headphones off. I put them on my bed. I get a drink of the water, and I come back and I sit down and I put my headphones on. And as soon as, before they even settle on my head, I can't hear very well out of my right ear. But it's about the time that the headphones start to go over the ear. So I adjust them a bit, and I start listening to the thing I was listening to, and I can still hear out of my right ear. So there's still sound, so I don't think the headphones are broken. And I still hear it, so maybe something's panned to the left. Maybe I messed with something when I set up a voice meter on this thing. Who knows? So I eventually stopped noticing it, and everything just sounds normal. Go about the night. Okay, night starts to wrap up. I shut off my computer, take off the headphones. I go and relax in my bed, and I lay down. I turn on Jesus and Mero, and I play my little Star Wars mobile game. And I realize I still can't quite hear out of my ear. So it's not my headphones. And it wasn't my computer. It's my ear. So I put my finger in my ear as maybe there's some waxy buildup. Maybe there's something innocuous. And I feel it, and it's wow, there is so much wax in my ear. A ridiculous amount. And I clean my ears on the regular. So it's surreal, what is happening. So I start to lean forward to get up to get a Q-tip. And I pull my finger out of my ear, and the buildup comes with it. It's not wax, though. On the tip of my finger is a raisin.
What?
Huh? How?
There's
What?
a raisin.
What?
That
Was
I
it
pulled
in
out of
your
my
headphone?
ear. I don't know. It had to have been. So at some point, a raisin.
You got the whole raisin out?
It was pushed into my ear canal just enough so that it obstructed my hearing, but I could easily take it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'll be honest, I'm just glad that it didn't stay in there because, boy, that would have been real bad.
You and me both. If I had known there was something in there, I would not have shoved my finger in there, I would have figured another way, but I didn't know. Also, no clue where that raisin came from. I don't eat in my bed, so I don't know how it would have gotten onto my bed to somehow get into the headphones. The way that I keep them is nowhere near where I eat. And the last time I ate raisins was many, 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 many months ago, and I've washed my sheets several times since then, so I don't know where that came from. I'm not entirely sure how it ended up in my ear, but there you go. Be careful when putting on headphones. You don't know where the raisins may be.
You know, I really appreciate that advice because now I know what to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for being an after-school special.
Anytime. Random raisins are our enemy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like, if you can afford to do it, if you're at, like, a doctor or something, and you have some other way to do it, I do absolutely recommend, like, getting someone to clean your ears out with, like, one of those, like, actual devices, though. Oh, it's good. It's real good. I actually had to have that done to me. Like, I had to go to the doctor to get that done to me, because I, like, fucked something up in my ear. And it was nice. I could hear, like, I could hear the earth. I could hear the earth growing beneath me. Like, it was a
no,
powerful
like, I know
experience.
exactly what you mean, because I have tiny ear canal things, so I've had to have that happen to me, like, a couple times, and every time it's like, wow, I can hear the universe now. Like,
yeah, it's nice.
What does it say?
It says, like...
By Menon.
It says...
Drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it says
Modern
all that.
products. Yeah.
It's just Michael, like, whispering in the wind. I could hear Michael whispering from far away.
That was just me.
Where did I get this raisin? What?
That's just, yeah. There was a really surreal moment when I looked at it, and I kind of realized what it was, and a part of me was freaking out, and the other part of me was like, throw it away, clean your ears, go to sleep.
Go to bed.
Yeah,
I was really worried you were going to be like, this could be good. Like,
so I thought about
take this L.
I thought about tasting it to make sure it was a raisin. To make sure it was a raisin.
well, why would that be what you do?
Not like eat the whole thing, just like a little nibble or lick. But I threw it out.
Would it just tasted like earwax?
I would have tasted the opposite side with my finger on it.
Oh my god.
Holy cow. Alright, well, I think that's enough. Michael, have you been playing any games that don't involve your fucking ear raisins or whatever? You know, wait. Real quick, I'm gonna posit a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it was a grape before it got in your ear?
It was not in my ear that long. Actually, I think it was one of the California raisins. They're dead now. I killed the drummer.
Good, fuck them.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
I have been playing video games.
Okay, please tell us. Did you play that California Raisins NES game?
No, I respect the time in my life. No.
No, you don't. You're on this fucking podcast.
Telling fucking good ass raisin stories.
But really, please.
I played a bunch of games, but there are just like 3 games that I'm going to talk about. First up is Kingdoms and Castles. We tried to do a video of this, but my lovely new computer, I didn't have everything set up correctly, so I'll just have to take a knee on this one and describe it on the podcast. It just came out 2 weeks ago. It's about $10. It's out on Steam. It's PC only. It is, if you just Google it and you look at it, it has a very interesting art style. It's very, I'm not even sure how to, it's kind of pastel kind of look to it. It's very minimalistic, especially the little, it's almost like Weebles Wobbles, or whatever those things were called. You know those little things?
Yeah,
toy?
Weebles wobble,
Yes.
but they don't fall down.
Exactly. The little people in the world look like that. And everything has a very, not cartoony, but kind of a cartoony art style. And it's essentially Stronghold. It's a Stronghold kind of game where you plop down your keep and you are attempting to stabilize the economy of your kingdom, and you do that by placing farms and forests and not forests, foresters and dudes who will go and get stone for you, and that in turn lets you build bigger buildings. And just like Stronghold, you have a population, and that population will take on these tasks. So at the beginning, you have 5 people. If you tell them, hey, go build this hut, all 5 will go build that hut. And then you'll have more people. But you have to but if you build something like a well or a forester, you have to keep in mind how many people you have left over. Because if you tell those 5 people to go build the forester, 2 of them will go become foresters. And now you only have 3 idle people left. So the next construction job you do will only have 3 builders. So you have to keep the population growing while keeping the industry going. You can do things like shut down individual industries. So you can shut down a farm, you can shut down a forester, but they shut down. They can't go get you more wood. So your wood supply has now slowed or stopped. And then there's also, they all level up in a certain way, and it happens passively. So if someone's been a forester since the beginning of the game, they're going to be a master forester. But if you're forced to shut that down and they go do something else and you build a library and they become librarians, when you open up that forester again, different idle workers will go work there. You will no longer have mastery, foresters. Lumberjacks. That's another word. So it's kind of a balancing game. It's an economic balancing game. But then if you play on anything above easy, it becomes kind of a tower defense game where Viking raids and dragons will come in and you have to build these towers. And the higher you build them, the more time it takes, the more resources it takes, but the larger reach they will have. And so you have to it's just another economic drain. But I played a little bit, and man, those Vikings are fucking annoying. They just try to burn everything down. They're assholes. Mm-hmm. But it's a fun little game for like $10. It's a Stronghold alike is the best game I can equate it to. But it's real kind of light. It's a great sort of entry point. It's real cheap. It's only $10. I'm still playing it off and on. It's a lot of fun.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. What else did I play? Oh, I know what I played.
Oh.
It's the game everyone's talking about.
Oh.
It's the game people won't stop talking about. PUBG.
I'm glad you called it its correct name.
Why? What's the other name?
Some people actually just call it Battlegrounds, and I'm like, what? Like, come on.
Plunk bat.
Someone. So I've been asking for like terms that people use in the game, and someone added me on Twitter and said plunk bat, and I had no fucking clue that was another name for it. So
you were like, is there a bat in this game that you plunk people with? What are you talking about?
I was racking my brain of like, what is the plunk bat? I don't.
PLUKBAT, like.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's not even. It would be plunkba if you were taking each, like, if you're doing it right.
Listen, I didn't invent the term. I remember I stared at the at reply and was just kind of waited, like, what?
What the fuck?
And then I Googled it, and it's, okay. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I've only played solo and squad, so I haven't played duo, but that game is incredible. It's each mode feels different. Single player is just tension. Just playing by yourself with 99 other people, it is just paranoia, tension, cowardice, bravery, all rolled into one. The second game I played, I landed in a city. I was going to try to be like real spicy, as they say, real like, I'm going to get in the shit right away. I landed in a city, but my landing was off. I couldn't land in front of the building I wanted. I went to this little building and there was nothing there, and there was easily another dozen people in the town. And as soon as I land, I'm already hearing gunshots. So I run in this little house. There's nothing in there. I run out the back. And in my head, I didn't do this, but in my head, I turned around, saw a bunch of gunfire, turned back forward, and just saw a boat ran to the boat and fucking gunned it out of there. Found like a gas station and some houses, and ended up coming in second. Just randomly. Mostly through cowardice, but also through lucky, just like pure luck of catching people off guard and kind of guessing where people ended up and being right. I still haven't gotten the chicken dinner. I still haven't like gotten number one, but the compare and contrast that to like single player to squad. Squad is just goofballs. It's just, I'm sure it depends on who you're playing with, but it is just, you don't have to, there's not as much pressure on you to look in all the directions. You can kind of choose a direction and kind of keep moving around a little. You don't have to be as paranoid. You don't have to be as worried. Even if you die, you can spectate your friends and help them out and go, no, he's behind the tree. You know, if this happened to me the other day, I was playing with Scott, some of Scott's friends, and it was down to Scott and someone else, and Scott saw somebody, but you know, in the heat of things, couldn't really call out where they were, so I could switch to the other person and say, that tree over there, the rock next to it, that one. Because Scott can't see what that other person can, so I can describe, okay, it's that red tree next to it, that rock, aim there. So you can still assist in some way, and it's still kind of, it's a part of you, you're a part of it. So that game's incredible. It's such a weird, sparse thing. It's such a simple idea, and like you don't look at it and go, that game was going to be something, which is exactly what I did for the many months we were getting those emails about it, where I looked at it and went, no. But it's a ton of fun, and it's I see why people are obsessed with it. When I see it, I want to play it. When I think about it, I want to play it. It's kind of like how Overwatch was, I'd say a year ago, where you see it, you talk about it, and it's like, okay, let's just play. You just want to get in there. And then there's only one other game.
Which is?
Fortnite.
Oh.
All right.
Tell me all about it, because I know nothing. I've looked up nothing about it.
Fortnite's a real video game that exists.
Oh, yeah?
It came out, kind of.
It's not out yet. They're very, very clear that it is not out.
Kind of.
That was announced, what, like 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
6 years ago.
Whew. All right. And it's an early access now.
Yeah, it is. It's an early access. If you get a code, you can get in, or you can buy your way in. I think the cheapest one is $40. There are a lot of systems in that game. I think I'm starting to get most of them. It'll eventually, when it is launched, it will be free to play. So the gameplay is you will plop down on a little map with up to 3 other people. You usually have to find what's called an Atlas device. You have to find it. You have to start it. You have to build the defenses around it, and then you have to defend it. And that's sort of the key phases. The exploration of the map is really boring, and it takes a very long time, but they do kind of drop little things for you to do. There'll be hidden treasure. There'll be hidden survivors that you have to go either solve a puzzle up, build stuff up to get them, or kill the zombies around them or something. There's hidden rooms with hidden loot. You are just running around with a pickaxe. Just anything you see, you can sit there and start picking away at it. Cars, walls, anything, you can pick away at it. And it's not like Minecraft when you just hold the button. The second or third thing you unlock actually shows weak points. So it'll be a little circle that moves around whatever you're picking at, and you have to aim to hit them. So it kind of gives your brain something extra to do, so you don't feel as bored when you're doing it. You find the dumb Atlas device. You have a pool of resources that you carry from mission to mission. So if in the last mission you used all your wood up, the next mission you're not going to have any wood. And then you find this Atlas device, and you can build walls, stairs, floors. You can put traps on those things. You can add ceilings and put traps on that so that when the zombies come and try to attack your Atlas device, they just get absolutely wrecked. It's a weird hodgepodge of a game. It just has all these different systems I think there's eventually a way to, I know there's a way to like summon other AI people in to defend for you. And I think the end goal is to have, is less on an emphasis of, standing around an object and shooting all these zombies, and more of an emphasis on building and protecting your Atlas device through all the things you've collected and manufactured and crafted. Because you can craft guns, you can craft traps, you can craft all these things. You get pinatas, which then drop people and items and crafting items. And the people are
pinatas drop people?
There are pinatas are like their loot boxes, they're crates.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get, if you buy the $40, you get like 10 free pinatas. And they just drop people. You can play as different heroes. The one you start out with is like soldier. It's just shooting and lobbing grenades. There's another one that's called the constructor, who moves slower. No clue what his other thing is. I know his other thing is he runs forward like bull rushes. And anyone, like Reinhardt, and anyone caught in his way, he just like kills. I don't know what makes him better. If maybe he constructs things quicker or uses less resource. It is a little poor at explaining everything.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. So like, if there are different people, the differences don't seem like crazy noticeable, like in say like Overwatch or something.
There are some noticeable, like Constructor does move slower, and they will eventually have different abilities.
Okay.
There's a huge unlock tree and a huge separate research point unlock tree. And research points are earned gradually over time, and the regular tree is earned by leveling up. There's also, if you complete a mission, depending on how well you did, how much building, mining, and shooting you did, you will get either a bronze, silver, or gold medal. And there's actually meters on screen telling you how far along you are.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's actually neat. It kind of encourages you to do all three. Like, don't just go around shoot things. Don't just go around build things. Do all three. And depending on how well you do in those, is the better loot you'll get at the end of a mission. I'm still playing what I think is the tutorial.
Wow.
There's a tutorial at the beginning. There's 100% a tutorial, and it takes you through it. It handholds you. But things like the weak point when you're mining is 2 or 3 things down in your unlock tree, in your skill tree. So that means you have to play 2 or 3 missions before you get that, and that feels pretty essential to like the game, even though it's a small thing. And I'm just going like, and you'll do a mission, and then in between the next mission, there'll be 2 more things like level up a gun. And that's something I kind of figured out by like thumbing through the menus. It is also very menu heavy. It is a game you have to kind of commit a little bit of brain to. Just kind of, what does this do? Okay, I can level up my guns. That's a good thing. You can level up people. Why am I putting this person on a squad? Why do I have 2 different squads? Like, why is this squad defending squad? When do I ever use this? Some of that's just not explained well. And that's why it's not out of early access. That is an early access game. You just happen to have to, it's like any early access game. You have to pay to get into it. I hope they're listening to feedback, because the missions are very repetitive. The gameplay so far is pretty repetitive. They encourage you to build crazy things, but so far, just walling off, like putting 4 walls around the Atlas, putting floors around it, and then traps around that, and then everyone shooting is more than enough.
Okay, so like, does going out of your way to make something crazy, for example, put you at a disadvantage, do you think, because of how easy that is?
No. It would just be a little more boring. Like if you build like this elaborate thing to funnel all the zombies through, and then they just get killed by it, and you just kind of keep an eye on it. It's just so easy because they tend to come from 1 or 2 directions, but the 2 directions tend to be from kind of the same diagonal. Like they're coming from the north and the west. It's like, oh, okay, they're coming from like the northwest. Done. And some of the missions actually actively say don't build too much and give you like a limit. There you do unlock more. Like I started unlocking jump pads. I started unlocking healing terminals. I started unlocking, like I said, ways to summon defenders, and I could give them a gun, and they're just AI dudes. There's ways to like toss out. I've seen the developer stuff where they toss out bears that shoot, or a llama. I think it's a llama that you can start, or maybe it's another piñata you toss out and you just wail on it and you get different loot. So there's stuff to this game. It just takes. I haven't seen any of it, and it takes forever. I saw someone put down. I've seen several people put down turrets, like full ass turrets. I just haven't unlocked that yet. So I think the game has a really neat idea, but all the systems are clearly in place. It's just all the systems are clearly in place, and I don't know what most of them do.
Yeah.
But there's still something about it. Like it does have a great look to it. It has awesome art. It is very kind of that Overwatch cartoony. What's that bad game? Battleborn. It's like that kind of look. Maybe not as harsh as Battleborn, but you look at the characters, you go, these characters look cool. So there's something about it I want to keep going back to, but it's still early. I don't know. I thought about dropping the $80 one.
Wow.
So you can go higher than that. You can go like 120.
Jeez.
But the $80 one comes with the free $40 one to give to a friend. So you could just buy, if you knew you wanted it and a friend wanted it, and your friend just want to do the $40 one, I guess you could do the $80 one, get the extra stuff, and give your friend one for free, or have them pay you $40. I don't know how but it's maybe that's a little too much money for
for a free to play game.
Yeah, eventual free to play game, but it's neat. I'm really interested in it, and I want to keep playing it. It'll be one of the many early access games that I watch for patch notes for. So.
That's interesting. It sounds a lot like if you know that game Sanctum, or Orcs Must Die. I think like where you build like all the things. It sounds like that, but like more nuanced, almost like more complex. I guess not nuanced, but like more going on.
Those are kind of tower defense games. Like they give you a map, and then there's like some clear ways you're supposed to build it. I think Fortnite is pretty random, so you sometimes will get the atlas and it's next to a house and the slope, and so you have to figure out like, I can't place traps on the slope, so maybe I can build stairs for the zombies and block off the rest. Now they'll come up the stairs and they have to come up this thing. Like you can do that yourself, but it does kind of feel like the first thing I thought of was Orcs Must Die. It was like, oh, this is kind of like Orcs Must Die, but instead of the walls and floors being there, like, oh, that'd be a perfect place for my ceiling trap. Now it's like, I'm going to place a ceiling here and put my ceiling trap there. So, and there's different zombies. There's regular zombies. There's big Hulk, like, big dude zombies who are harder to kill. There's zombies that throw bones and they look like baseball players. There's beehead zombies that have beehives on them. There's lobber zombies that make you, like, force you put a roof on your atlas. There's a lot of little nuances to it, but holy fuck is that game complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for telling me about it. I might try it.
No problem.
So, folks, I played some games. I also played a little bit of Community Inc.
Yeah, I did the tutorial of that, but that's about it.
Yeah. It was okay. It's pretty much it's super basic. I wasn't wowed by it, but whatever. Like it's basically every other like management sim. Like I'll be honest, Michael, I drifted out a little bit when you were talking about the management sim you were talking about earlier, and straight up I thought you were talking about Community Inc. because it's just like the same.
Thanks for drifting out and not listening.
Hush.
Yeah, I played of Community Inc. was neat. It looks neat, but it's just a management sim.
It's the exact same thing as like everything else.
I wanna actually go and play it, like actually, and not just do the tutorial and see if there's anything different down the line. Because a lot of those management sims, they're based on the same formula, but some of them change when you get to a certain point. Like it's a very drastic, like Kingdoms and Castles. It's the tower defense thing. Like everything else is pretty much the same, and it's neat the way it operates. But once you hit the tower defense stuff, it's like, oh, I get what I'm maintaining. I'm trying to grow while protecting everything.
It seems like the thing that they want you to do in that game is build your villages up enough so you can sell them. That's the hook.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I don't know. That doesn't really seem like that much of a hook, but we'll see. So I've been, I set up my PS3 again.
Why?
And because they put out Darkstalkers Resurrection on that PS Plus. I'm playing some Darkstalkers. These games are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, some of the best fighting games Capcom's ever made.
They're really fun.
Especially 3. 3 is so good. I've been playing a lot of that. Like, a lot. Just going through arcade mode and shit. It's kind of tough too. That's just a really good game. I think the free PS Plus bit has lapsed, but you should still check it out. The only other new game that I played.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
What, John?
I got sent a code for something. And I wanted to give it a fair shake.
What's the name of the game, John?
Moero Chronicle.
Boy, I wonder what went wrong.
What happens in this chronicle?
So, humans and monster girls lived in harmony.
What happened?
Until some event occurs, and the monster girls begin to attack the humans.
No. They were such good friends.
Oh, they were more than friends. So, I'm going to explain how this went down, okay? Because, look, I'm gonna be upfront with y'all. I'm gonna be realistic here. I'm not adverse to hot monster girls, you know? Like, it's fine, you know?
I'm gonna be over here.
You could do, Michael.
Keep an eye on the podcast clock and.
No, don't worry, Michael. I'm here.
Don't-
I'm here. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't let them go on for an hour about monster girls. I'll
Keeping
be
an
over
eye
here.
on the pot.
I'm not.
I'll be over here in the other room, and you
Okay.
just
right,
just
you
ring
have
me up
fun.
when you need me. I'll see you guys.
All right, you have fun.
Have fun.
Okay, you too.
Keep your pants on, John. Just keep them on.
They're on.
All right.
So, look. That game literally starts with the protagonist talking about how horny he is.
Hey, I
Yeah.
just wanted to let you know I can hear you through the wall. So if you just so the neighbors don't hear. Just
All right.
anyways, have fun.
Okay.
Have fun, you too.
Okay.
How horny is he?
He's talking about, like, just how, like, he's just fucking ready to go. Like, dude is just like, I just need to, I need to get some fuck, or else I'm gonna die.
If only there was a Lamia here.
Basically. So, it turns out that, like, that they keep sending people over to the Monster Girl half of the world to try to fight the Monster Girls to figure out why they're so pissy. And they don't come back. So they're like, alright, we're running out of people to send over there. Let's just send this asshole that nobody in this town likes. Like, straight up, like, that part was kind of funny, where, like, the town elder is straight up just like, we don't like you, we want you to just go over there so you can die, basically. And that was pretty funny. But so, you meet up with your Monster Girl friend, your Monster Girl space friend, who you, go over to the Monster Girl area and try to figure out what's wrong. And, so you go over there and you start kind of getting attacked by another Monster Girl, and she has, like, this, like, weird, like, spiky halo thing over her head. And it looks like she's gonna kill you. and then this creature shows up, and it looks like a seal, but it also looks like a penis.
Uh-huh.
Hi, hello. I just wanted to check in, see how everything was going.
Yeah, Michael, there's a seal,
It's
and
bad.
it looks like a penis, I guess, apparently.
I'm leaving. See ya.
Oh,
All right, bye.
okay.
All right,
Well, I hope
see ya.
you don't have to...
Mm.
Yeah. Oh.
And it looks like it's got a bib on, but it quickly becomes apparent, which actually I'm not really sure how this works, but because it just looks like a bib, but it turns out that it's a pair of panties, and he wants to team up with you, so as you're fighting the monster girls, just like, I guess, eventually they'll just lose their panties and he wants them.
I don't want to know why they're losing them.
I couldn't tell you. So the first area you go to is a forest of mushrooms, and half of the mushrooms look like boobs.
Hey,
I saw that,
hey.
yeah.
I'm back.
Hi.
We're done. We're done.
So
I
what's
didn't
the
even get to
combat like, John?
So the combat is, you actually fight. It's two parts of, you have monster girls in your party, and they actually fight. But then the dude just like charges up his energy, and then he releases it. Do you get it?
So news.
It's
news.
Yeah. So, and when he does that, it gives them stat boosts.
Video game news.
Anyway, as soon as that happened, and as soon as the first monster encounter that I had was like a bunch like cow fairies with their tits out.
We got questions.
I uninstalled the game.
You can send questions to Video Game Choo-Choo.
I stopped playing after that.
Are we done?
I'm not gonna lie. Yes.
Whew.
So yeah, so that game was fucked up. Oh, there is one other game that I forgot to mention actually, real quick. This is actually a good one though. This is a very good one. Friend of the site, Miles Cox, helped make this game. It was made by a group of people for a game jam that I guess Waypoint is running. It's called Yonoid 2. I played a good chunk of it, this past couple of days, and it's real funny. It's like really interesting too. It's a platformer. It's like a tether-based platformer. You play as the Noid. There's an FMV cutscene in it. It controls a lot like a mid-range PS1 game. It has a real like Arcane Kids vibe. It's a very Sonic Dreams collection. Like at least with the graphics. The music is fantastic. It's just a really weird thing. The one thing I will say is that it's very hard. It's got a lot of like parkour-esque like gameplay with it, where you're like running on walls and jumping off of them, and the controls aren't really that intuitive. You really do have to play it with a controller. Like you should be playing it on like a 360 controller or something like that. But it's got a really good sense of humor to it. It's really bizarre. I do absolutely recommend checking it out. Like, if you just look up Yonoid 2, it'll probably come up. It's free. It's on itch. So I would advise to check that out. And I promise I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with Miles. It's a neat thing. It's a really neat, weird, funny thing. Let's move on to news. Michael, are you still here?
Yeah. I'm suffering.
Yonoid 2 isn't that bad, Michael.
It didn't have a seal penis, whatever the fuck you two were talking about.
Don't attribute me to this.
You were in the room.
Oh.
I didn't like it, okay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I am being 100% dead serious here. I can handle
I bet.
a little bit of that shit, okay?
Uh-huh.
But it was overboard. It was way overboard. It was too much. I'm sorry. It was basically a hentai game, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry.
Now available on Steam.
Now available on Steam. Look, okay, let's move on to news.
Yes.
Rose, would you like to go first?
Sure. So earlier this week, we said that Persona 5 was getting an anime adaptation. And it is getting an anime adaptation. We don't know much more aside from the fact that most cast members will be resuming their roles. If you played with the Japanese dub on, you'll recognize those voices. I wonder if when it is dubbed in English, if we will get the English voice actors, because I remember for Golden it was a little bit dicey. But other than that, they also announced Persona 3, Dancing Moon Knight, I think it's called, and then Persona 5, Dancing All Night, also.
It's Dancing Star Night, I think. Star Night is 5, and the Persona 3 one is Dancing Moon Knight.
Yeah. I knew that it was Dancing Moon Knight. And those are coming out next year, and they had a trailer and everything, so I believe that they are coming out next year.
Why aren't these the same game?
Money!
Yeah, money. I think it's interesting that they're going to be on PS4 and Vita. So, which makes sense for selling it in the West, at least. But it's a weird choice. They're also making Persona Q 2. If you remember Persona Q.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
I guess I didn't like it enough to keep playing it. I have it, but yeah. But that's going to be Persona 5 themed. Other than that, they said nothing. So, hey, if you like Persona, good for you.
There's gonna be
good
more.
for you. Unless you don't like dancing. In which case, I'm sorry. Also, will they ever reference Persona 2 ever again?
No.
No.
Oh.
Why isn't this the fighting game?
I want the fighting game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm fine with the dancing stuff. I wish it was just one game. But, yo.
It's because Arc System Works is making that game that already has Persona characters in it.
It's because Arc System Works is making every fighting game.
Yeah, they're making like 7 games right now.
Yeah, they're still working on BlazBlue and Guilty Gear stuff. They're making Dragon Ball, and they're making the BlazBlue crossover game. They are swamped. I bet there will be a Persona 5 Arena in the future.
There better be.
Not right now, though.
Maybe next year. Or the year after.
I would say probably like 2019.
Yeah.
Something.
Persona 4, Persona 5 Golden, and Persona 5 Arena all in the same year.
Yeah.
Whew.
Everyone's been all like, oh, they should put Persona 5 on the Switch, and, whatever. If they did do a Persona 5 Golden, I would not be that surprised if they did end up doing that. But, whatever.
Yeah, I guess they are making that Shin Megami Tensei for the Switch. I forgot that existed until you said that just now.
And Persona 5 came out on PS3, so it could easily go to the Switch.
Yeah, it would just be the PS3 version, like slightly more.
I bet it would be the PS4 version. I bet it could run that.
I bet it couldn't run at 60. Considering Zelda was having problems,
I don't think it needs to run at 60.
You're right, but that was the big difference between the PS4 and PS3 version.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it needs that. Just downgrade it a little. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michael.
John.
What's going on your end?
That PUBG.
Uh-oh.
It's had one hell of a week. The same week that it was announced that it sold 6 million copies and is the largest non-Steam, non-Valve game to have the largest concurrent player base at one time. Words that mean stuff when put together. Beating out GTA 5, and I forget the other game it beat out. It also had some good news and some bad news. The good news is they just updated it to have, I don't know if this is on the official servers yet, but the test server currently has the first-person only games, so you can play only in first person. Up until now, it's been third-person only. They've added honking cars They've added colorblind mode. You can now use an Xbox controller if you want. They added, I think, some graphics options, including an FOV slider and some VSync options, which is pretty good because, from what I understand, that thing uses really odd computer resources. It's not all off your GPU, so adding some more options certainly helps. And they're still promising. They're still promising the vaulting update sometime soon. I'm not sure if that will be within a couple weeks or still a month or so away. And they are still saying that the Xbox version comes this year and that they will launch 1.0 officially out of early access this year. I'll believe it when I see it, because in addition, they announced a bit of a controversial change to the way they've been doing things. So right now, the way you unlock things in the game, and by unlock things, I mean you just unlock cosmetic clothes. I unlocked a dirty white tank top the other day. Is you play a game, depending on what you place, and if you hit anybody or kill anybody, you'll get points. Those points are then turned into a crate. It's $700 for your first crate, then 14, then 21. And supposedly, the higher it goes, the cooler the item you might get out of it. It's only one item per crate. And then it resets after a week. So after a week of playing, and you've gone through 3 or 4 crates, you drop back down to the first 700 coin crate. They are now going to keep that system and add a separate crate that is unlocked only via a key, and that key will cost you $2.50. That's kind of controversial because they're doing it before. They've said they're going to do it before the launch of the game, while it's still in early access. And some people say that Brendan Green, otherwise known as Player Unknown, has said before that he would never do something like that, and he himself has said, I never said that. It makes some sense. They have to make money. Like, you pay $30 and you get a 6 million person game that people are constantly playing with dedicated servers, where they're adding separate servers for different points of view and all this stuff, and they're adding, honking cars, but they're working on other things like maps, with their own features on them, and they have to make money. So, kind of shitty that it's happening in early access, and I don't like that crate system. I kind of like the Overwatch way of doing things, where you can just buy crates if you would like. But that has caught some feedback, some negative feedback from the community, and so has the stream sniping controversy. I don't know if you guys saw any of that.
I did.
So it's actually gotten hilarious since they've added car honking, because now people are just stream sniping with car honking. Where if there's a popular streamer streaming, they will somehow get in that person's game, find them, and just honk the car constantly. The PlayerUnknown, or Bluehole, the developer, was starting to ban people who were stream sniping, which is where you watch someone else's stream, find it when you're in their game, find out where they are, and kill them. The problem is it's hard to figure out if someone was watching that stream or just happened to stumble upon someone. And there have already been cases where there were 2 stream snipers trying to kill a streamer, and someone just happened to be there, and they were caught in the crossfire figuratively and were banned. So there's some hubbub about like who has that power, who has that right. How do you tell if someone is streaming or stream sniping and not? So it's actually that stuff's really interesting to me, because it is the culture of streaming every fucking game ever running up against this game that has just caught fire, and this poor developer kind of caught in the middle of these angry streamers who you could add a delay to your stream. You could just not stream the game. There are solutions. And poor Bluehole is kind of caught in the middle, trying to figure it out on the fly. So that's your week in PUBG. It's going great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. So, if there's one thing I remember from the early days that this is a weird thing to remember, but when I first met Mike,
That sucks.
one of the things that he was really obsessed with was Rock Band Blitz. He was legitimately, I mean, he might still be, I don't know, but he was legit one of the best Rock Band Blitz players in the world, like consistently ranking in the top of it. So, when I heard this news, I immediately remembered like how into that game he was. Rock Band Blitz is getting delisted from the PlayStation Store and Xbox Live Marketplace. It'll be delisted on or before August 28th. I'm hoping that they give some kind of heads up for people if it's going to be before. But August 28th is 5 years to the day that it officially released. Again on August 28th, 2012. That was the PS3 version. The 360 version was on the 29th. So it just kind of seems like it must be something to do with licensing, you know, like obviously they must have lost some kind of licensing for that specific game. They did say that if you purchase the game, you can export the original soundtrack of Rock Band Blitz, like the 25 songs that came on it originally, to Rock Band 4 for no extra money. They did say that those songs are going to still be up on the store until further notice, even after Blitz gets delisted. So if you just want those songs for Rock Band 4, you don't necessarily have to buy Blitz, but that's probably the cheapest and easiest way to get all 25 songs, like, real quick. You know, you can, It's just going to be delisted, so it's not going to be like PT where you can't download it again in the future. Just as long as you have the license, you can still download it and play it, and it'll still work. It doesn't really say anything about the DLC that like works for the game, but I'm thinking that you probably should also buy the DLC for that game as well. Oh no, it does say actually, any other Rock Band tracks that are downloaded to your console's hard drive will work with the game.
Cool.
So it's just $15 on PS3 or Xbox 360. It's not going to ever become backward compatible. I think Harmonix did straight up say, like, nah, we're not going to be able to get it, like, backwards compatible on Xbox One or anything like that. And they also said that as long as you buy the game, as long as you have the license to it, you can export the songs to Rock Band 4. You don't even have to install it. So, again, if you just want to get those songs, that's the easiest way to do it. But, yeah, so if you're interested in Rock Band Blitz...
That game's dope.
you should pick it up.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to, like, play Rock Band if you're by yourself and you don't feel like dragging all your instruments out and you have a Rock Band library. It's great. It's a little weird to think about booting up my Xbox 360 to play it, but it's still neat.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to questions.
If you have questions, you can go to and email videogamechoochoo podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, or you can go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you can ask questions like these questions. We actually have two of these questions. One of them asks, who is each of your favorite auteur in games? And we actually just got one minutes ago asking who's your favorite indie auteur developer of a game made by one person. Those are both from Anonymous. So I'll just leave it open. Indie developer or not, who is your favorite auteur in video games? John, we'll start with you.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because, you know, it's hard to just, you know, games aren't made by one person, so it's hard to say that. But I think the closest I would say to something like that would probably be Suda51.
Sure.
you know, a lot, like, and it is still kind of hard to say that because, you know, some of those games are very, very good, but also I bounced off of a lot of Suda's stuff that's, like, way more, like, deep. Like, I could not stand Silver Case or, like, Killer is Dead and all that, but, you know, when he's just trying to have fun or to prove, like, a singular point, that makes more sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I would, like, if we were kind of talking about games made by one person, basically, I mean, like, Undertale was basically just made by Toby Fox, and I love that game, but, like, that's the only game he's made, so I don't feel comfortable being like, oh, he's one of my favorites,
Sure.
Because what if the next game fucking blows, you know? I don't know. Maybe, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't think I really have one. I like a lot of devs and I like a lot of developers, and I don't think I have individuals. I have individuals I like, but I don't necessarily think that they're if they are attached to a project, that project is suddenly got to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, people are all over Kojima, and he clearly makes interesting games, but I don't love them like people do. Who's the other one? David Cage. We have another David Cage question coming up. Like, those games are interesting. Like, they legitimately are interesting.
Way,
yeah, like, he's doing something different, but I don't look at that and go, I should love it because he's trying. I mean, I guess at least he's trying, maybe. But yeah, I don't. None of the auteurs, indie or not, I look at and think, wow, you're really doing something different. I look at it and go, yeah, you're doing something different, but it's not great. Like, Michael Bay does stuff that's different. It sucks, but he's doing it different. Like, it doesn't mean I should praise him. So I've never really had a favorite. I tend to like companies and like groups of developers more, until you learn that the company you liked 10 years ago is a completely different set of people. But yeah, I don't really have one. Rose?
All right. So was it just indies or?
Either indies,
Whatever.
Just your favorite video game auteur from video games at large.
So for me, I can't really think of any indie ones because I just sort of like grab bag a lot of games that are made by teams. I did like Axiom Verge, but I wouldn't say I liked Axiom Verge enough to be like, oh, that guy I'm all about.
Yeah.
That said, Yoko Taro and Hideki Kamiya can do no wrong in my eyes. Especially Kamiya. Especially Kamiya. Like, just last week I was thinking, has Kamiya ever made a bad game? And I looked at his, like, what would it be? Like, what's, like, not filmography, but his design history, basically.
Gameography.
Yeah, gameography. His, like, the games he's directed, and literally every single one is great. So, I'd say him, especially. I think he's really great, and his type of game is really distinct. That it's him making it, and that's what I like about it.
Okay.
Our next question comes in from Starborn Kit. Hey y'all, first time question asker here. As someone who's saving up for a new Metroid Prime and Pokemon games, I'm a little worried the 3DS will be phased out eventually, and I'll have wasted money better spent on the Switch. How much longer do you think the 3DS is gonna last?
Well,
the Vita is still here, so
yeah,
forever.
The 3DS will still be around for another, like, 2 years, I would say.
Longer than that, I imagine.
I don't know. I mean, I think it will continue to be supported by, like, Nintendo in a semi-major way for that long.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there will be, like, third-party stuff. You'll still see a couple of, like, JRPGs popping up on there. Like, Persona Q2 was coming out on 3DS, all that stuff. I will say, you know, it really just depends on what exactly you want from these games. Like, if you really liked Sun and Moon and you want more out of that, then get Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. If you are really banking on the new Pokemon experience, then yeah, like, save up for a Switch and then get the new Pokemon game that's supposed to come out next year. Same thing with Metroid, where it's like, if you really want that Metroid 2 experience, get Samus Returns. But it's really just depends on what exactly you want out of the series. But yeah, I mean, if you already have a 3DS, then that should make it a little bit easier of a thing where you're just like, yeah, I want these experiences. I want this specific experience, and you can get either or. Just be like, I want the Metroid, but I can wait on Pokemon. Just think about it that way.
3DS. Go ahead, Rose.
I was gonna say 3DS has plenty of legs. Like straight up, like you look at the DS, how long the DS lasted. Like that was 2004 to like 2012, I think. Like that. It lasted forever. The 3DS is such a huge install base, especially compared to what the Switch is at right now. Like, there's no way they're going to drop it in the next 3 years, I would even say. Like, it's going to peter off a little, sure, towards the tail end of that. But, like, look, they just announced Samus Returns, like you said. Like, they just announced the Pokemon games. Like, that's going to keep happening. Like, there's probably going to be more 3DS Pokemon games, I bet. Like, I almost guarantee you, after Ultra Sun and Moon, there will be more. So don't worry too much about that. I understand wanting to play the games in the moment when they come right out, but also games never go anywhere. So don't worry about that. Like, in fact, they'll only get easier to get with time. So when you do finally decide that you want to switch, hey, you'll have plenty of games to play for it, and you'll have also been able to play a lot of 3DS games in the meantime.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, there's plenty of games you can go back and do, but Rose is 100% correct. The install base is just too big. The Switch is selling like hotcakes, but you can put out a Pokemon game next year. And you can put it out on 3DS and Switches. There are more 3DSs. There will be still more 3DSs in people's hands than there will be Switches by this time next year. So it'll still behoove those devs when they're not making big AAA titles to make little indie stuff or little side stuff. And then if you're a developer and you don't feel like making a big Switch game or a big PS4 game, you got this little thing and you're making it for the Vita or for the PC, might as well toss it on the 3DS. You might as well toss it on something else. So the only thing that could eat the 3DS's lunch is the Switch, and if Nintendo is smart, they promote both, because the Switch is still establishing its presence and the 3DS still has it. And I mean, they just put out a 2DS this year. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, even the Vita, like I joked about it, but the Vita's still around. They still make things for it. So if that thing can survive, then the 3DS can survive.
Totally.
Broadcasting from Vanishing Point asks, what video game series would you want to be in your dream crossover fighting game? All right, you get to choose 2. They cross over. They fight. Rose, you start us off. 2 and only 2.
Alright, let me think about this. Nier is one of them, like encompassing automata, and then what's like something that's like really upbeat? Persona.
Persona versus Nier?
Yeah, like Persona 4 Arena versus Nier, and it's like all the Persona 4 kids going, oh geez, it's so tough out here, and then like all the Nier robots are crying. And that's the fighting game.
All right. John?
Okay.
What you got?
I'm gonna take one of yours, Rose.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. I'm not.
Oh.
Actually, here, no. I got this, no. Danganronpa versus VLR, or whatever that series is.
Sure. That's
Zero Escape.
No,
Zero Escape.
Sure.
Yeah. Danganronpa versus Zero Escape.
So you just want Tumblr to like your game?
It works,
How about this? I'll lay this on you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Digimon. Versus Overwatch.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Done. Donezo. I just made the greatest fighting game ever.
That sounds great.
You really did.
Fucking Agumon.
Metal Greymon versus Lucio. I don't know. Like
Metal Lucio.
Oh shit.
Yeah. All right.
War Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm.
Omnimon versus Widowmaker.
Shit.
Anonymous writes in and asks, do you think Persona 5's anti-authoritarian message can hold true against an ever-growing series of spin-offs? No.
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 No way.
What message did the Persona 4 fighting game carry over? I know there was a story, but like...
It actually did kind of carry over the message from Persona 4, which was like the bring everything back to being what it was.
Sure.
But like, that's a way easier message to have than, here's our, like, we're pretending this is the Prime Minister of Japan right now.
Yeah. That doesn't translate to a dancing game very well.
I don't think that's going to translate to the anime is what, like, not to derail, but like, seeing that anime and knowing that anime is going to air, like, on Japanese television, I don't know how much they'll be able to get away with when you hear about a lot of like what certain animes have to do to censor for television over there.
Sure, I don't know.
I
haven't finished it, so I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Any thoughts?
I don't know. I would say like there's a part of me that's like that would love for them to keep that message throughout because it is a very like well done part of that story. But also there's a part of me that's just like, hey, that music in that game's really good. Wouldn't it be fun if there was a rhythm game? You know, like I don't know.
Sure, that'll be fine. But like Persona Q 2, like what's that gonna be? Like they're just like, oh geez, the principal.
I mean, like, honestly, Persona Q1 was just all the characters from both of those games just...
Sure.
They purposefully... I mean, look, that game was stupid as shit, but I feel like they were at the very least like, okay, we're setting it during a point in the game where they're just chilling, because it was during the, like, summer festival. So everyone was just chilling, they weren't worrying too much about the, like, overlying stuff. Like, you know, they weren't thinking about it, so maybe you should for a little bit, you know? It's just a fun game. Or it's not actually a fun game because it's Persona Q, but you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anonymous writes in and says, is there any untapped potential in David Cage's style of game making, i.e. the game as film concept? Niall is screaming. Niall is yelling. Niall is writing a thesis upon which why there's either a ton of untapped potential in David Cage to continue making games, or there's none, he's done it all.
I'm gonna say, like, I don't know, maybe, because I'm never going to sit here and say, like, no, there couldn't be any more to this, because there's always something that someone finds. But also, why not just make a movie instead? Or, like, a TV series?
What was that? Couldn't get away with it.
What was that horror game that came out?
Until Dawn?
Yeah.
I think good, but that takes advantage of being a game more than just being, like, a thing like David Cage stuff.
Sure, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, I think this person is just asking less about could David Cage's style, is that what has potential, but really as game as film, or game, like, cribbing that style. I think Until Dawn does that perfectly.
I think that's a good example, sure.
I think that's sort of like a, not exactly one-to-one, but that's like Cabin in the Woods, where Until Dawn took all your knowledge of horror and teenagers in woods having sex and drinking and said, here's all these other layers on top. And instead of like Cabin in the Woods, where it was the secret, you know, I guess I shouldn't spoil, I don't fucking care. It's where they're secretly being controlled, where in Until Dawn, it, instead of it revealing that through a movie, it just reveals that through your actions. Of your actions dictate what actually happens in the rest of this video game. I think there's potential there. There's a ton, and some people don't think far enough outside the video game box, partly because it's very difficult and costly to think outside of the box that far.
Yeah, I just think like they definitely need to do more like Until Dawn, where they know that it's a game before you make it. Like, don't just make a movie that's a game because it's a game. Like, make sure that it takes advantage of being a game. Is what I like to see. Like,
yeah, I like to see that.
Think about The Order, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a really bad example because, like, the game there is virtually non-existent. Like, it's really
I mean, there's shooting in that game, isn't there?
There is, but it just exists to facilitate the movie instead of, like, them existing, like, coexisting.
Sure, it's a balance between narrative and gameplay design. Yeah, it's you need to have the gameplay loop,
and, like,
but
you can
need
have
to
it
heavy
be
narrative.
Yeah, you can have it be simple if you want to focus more on the story, but, like, don't make it so that it's so, like, non-existent and, like, incongruous even to, like, the story.
You're just doing shoot step, watch video. Shoot
yeah,
step.
Exactly. Like, I don't want that. I want, like, Until Dawn. Like, yeah.
Metal Gear.
I don't know about that one, but
I think
like
David
MGS5.
Cage. I actually like the idea of what David Cage does. I just think he gets. I don't think the stories are as enrapturing as he thinks they are, and I don't know if the gameplay is always. I think it's a neat idea of making the mundane into movements, and I think that's a good start. I just wish he would kind of think about it more instead of repeating it over and over. I'm gonna skip a few because we're running a little long, but I'll save them for next week for you guys to listen to next or answer next week. So I'll ask these last two. Anonymous asks, I've never played The Witcher, but does the tub in capitals actually factor into the game at all? I'd hate to get my hopes up, but only for no tub appearance. There is a tub.
Of course, yeah.
Does it factor into the game?
Yes, it's the opening scene to the game. Pans up from the ground. There's the tub. And you look, there's the tub. What's in this tub? What does this tub represent? And then you see the feet pop out and you go, ah.
It has nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with the game. First impressions mean everything, Michael.
Zero. It has zero to do with the video game.
It has so much. It's in the coloring book. Did you see they announced a coloring book? And it has the tub?
That.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy that coloring book. You know I am. Draw his bong on the side.
It sets the stage for the rest of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Like, you know what Geralt, like, what kind of man he is after that scene.
Yeah. When you see someone naked in the tub, you know what kind of man they are. Last question. You can send questions by emailing us podcast@videogameshoochu, or you can go to videogameshoochu.tumblr.com/ask. That spells ask, and ask us neat little questions. Like this neat little question coming from Horror Errors, asking, so Dan Riker got married in a fucking Taco Bell a while ago. What fine fast food establishment would you get married at if you had to?
If you had to. You know, my knee-jerk reaction was Chick-fil-A, but then I remembered the people who own Chick-fil-A, and I don't want to get married into Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Popeyes.
Ooh, Popeyes is good.
Yeah. So I almost said Sonic, but that's outside, and I don't want to get married outside.
You know what? I will say Popeyes is a great choice, because the last time I went to Popeyes was like one of the best experiences I've had at a fast food place.
Yeah, it's Popeyes.
Just because like everyone there was really nice, and they just gave us free food because some guy like stepped out and was taking way too long. So they literally just went, you guys have been waiting. You guys have been doing a good job. Take this guy's box. He's been outside for too long. You guys just leave. And we were just like, okay. So we did that.
Wow. I went to Popeyes the other day, and we had 3 orders of chicken, 2 spicy, 1 mild. They thought it was 2 mild, 1 spicy. So we corrected them before they could even pack it up. And because of that, they gave everyone an extra piece of chicken.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
They're great.
Exactly.
And they're never, it's like Chick-fil-A with their sauce, where you ask for sauce and they're just like, I don't know, here's like 3 of them. You want more? Yeah. Some will charge, but normally you get like you get a couple just for order. So.
Yeah. That's how it is?
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, Popeyes is the choice.
It's good. I'm kind of like, I was trying to think of one and I can't think of one better because like, it's just good. Like they have shrimp there for me. I love shrimp. Like I could just get shrimp.
I almost want to say In-N-Out, but that's only because the food is good. I don't know if I'd want to spend that much time inside of an In-N-Out.
I was thinking of like another one is...
God, That place is always so cramped as it is. Like, imagine trying to like have a fucking wedding
you're supposed
reception
to
there.
go
Ugh.
in and out like that.
Yeah, and nobody does. Nobody does.
Nope.
Nobody takes that fucking advice.
I every fast food establishment, I would like to walk in and get the fuck out and go anywhere else to eat it. I don't want to eat it there. The only advantage to eating it there is you get free refills and there's a sit down. Like, it's an immediate, I'm sitting on my butt. Like, that's it. Everything else is just pain and like, oh, I'm still here. I'm eventually going to have to use that restroom. Shit. Fuck. Like, it's bad.
Yeah. I'll go to that world's biggest McDonald's down in Orlando.
No, don't do that. There's two of them. There's two of them.
There's two world biggest?
One
Which was the biggest then?
One, I don't know if they closed the first one. They built the world's biggest. Then I don't know if something beat them or they just decided they wanted to make another one. And then I don't know if they coexist or if they closed the original one.
The hubris.
I think they closed the original.
Okay. So they built another world's biggest.
Man, that is like
I got one.
Flying way too close to the sun.
Del Taco.
Oh, Del Taco fucking sucks.
You get tacos and you get burgers.
You know, maybe Del Taco's the right choice because it would be empty and you could just have your wedding and leave.
That's very true. And the employees wouldn't give a shit.
They'd just be like, oh, I guess it's another Friday. All right.
It's a wedding in here. Okay.
Are you going to buy something? No? Okay, I get it.
I'm going to go sit down. Just on the floor.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for reading those questions.
Anytime, Crimp.
And for being on the show. Thank you, Rose, for being on the show.
Yeah.
And again, I would like to thank you all for listening. Please check out the site. We have new videos going up pretty soon. Probably by the time you hear this, there will be some videos up. We have a review and a video of Tacoma. None of us played it, so we couldn't talk about it. But if you want to hear opinions on Tacoma, there are multiple. So you can go on the site and check that out. We have our Discord, which is at thegamezone.zone. It's been bumping lately. I'm pretty happy about that. And again, we will be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo podcast. Do me a favor and subscribe and rate it on iTunes if you could. Thank you so much. See you next week.